Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, Magic Fan. Welcome to another live stream, play, build a deck type of video. Check the description for the various chapters to jump to the different parts of the video. What I'm going to do is play a Greasefang Brawl EDH deck. I'm going to do some gameplay on it. I'll also show you the full deck. Again, check the chapter descriptions for it all. So here's a preview of the deck. I'm not going to go through it card by card, but you can pause it right here and check all the cards, or wait till the end of the video. I'm going to jump directly to the gameplay. Again, all the chapters are in the description. YouTube has this technology where you can jump to chapters. You're welcome. So let's play the game. This is my Greasefang Historic Brawl EDH deck. Obviously, if it was full Commander, we would be able to get every single card in existence. This is the Brawl, Historic Brawl version of things. And this deck's been working pretty well. Shout out to Smash666, my buddy on the stream. He helped me develop the deck, and it's been working pretty well. I think there's still some tweaks that could be done. I'd love to hear your thoughts on tweaking the deck. Tell me in the comments how you'd like to tweak the deck. And some of these work better than others versus some opponents. But anyway, the idea is we're going to play Greasefang, dump stuff in the graveyard, some amazing creatures. Okay, let's see how this goes. We have SRAM, which loves vehicles. I'll be able to play SRAM right away. Turn 2. Turn 4 we'll play the Bomat Bazaar. But before that, I'm going to play Restoration of a Ganjo, which Chapter 2 lets me discard a card. I will discard Bomat Barge. And then I will bring it back with Greasefang. So always be nice to the opponent before you wreck them. Give them a nice little tummy wave. Alright, so remember, SRAM loves auras, equipments, and vehicles. Then you draw a card. But we won't do that yet. Okay, so we got Counterspell mana, we've got Murder mana. Okay, they're really ramping into their Eternal. Okay, so we're going to play our Restoration over here. Let's just go search for a basic Plains, whatever. Put it into the hand. Quick attack. Okay, so next turn. Chapter 2, drop the Bomat Bazaar Barge, play Greasefang, bring it back out of the graveyard, draw a card, attack with it. That's the idea with that. I've been able to do some really gross games where turn 1 or 2, I drop Parhelion into the graveyard, and then turn 3, Greasefang, we get the 5/5 first strike plus 2 4/4 angels. Uh-oh, he's dead. Alright, fine. It doesn't take that long, opponent, for you to figure out what you're doing, but I guess you need to contemplate very, very much. So, okay, they are foretelling a murder spell. Okay, so they're foretelling, obviously, Poison the Cup. So let's, ooh, that actually worked out very well, because then SRAM comes back to life. Hit me with that, and then be careful here. As soon as you bring it back to life, you've got to activate it as a vehicle, and then smack them. Okay, so now they've got these various targets. They're probably gonna Poison Cup Greasefang. That's fine. That's not the best. Let's see which one they're gonna Poison Cup. They have enough mana. Yeah, they're gonna Poison Cup Greasefang. Obvious. You know, you play enough Magic, you see the obvious players playing their obvious cards. So we'll give them a shrug. You're obvious. One more land drop. Nope, they have a murder. They have another kill spell. Maybe card draw. Nope, they have a kill spell. Okay. Anyway, what we can do here is 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have 6 mana yet. Oswald then eats the Bomat Barge. If this gets counterspelled or killed, I don't care. Although it is a useful part of my strategy. Yep, the opponent doesn't know how to play their own deck. There we go. You're finally going to do something. You're going to hit Shram. Nope, you're going to flunk Oswald. Do not care. Make some goats. Do the attack. I can still do it with that Bomat Bazaar. Now, I don't have any removal. Obviously, the Scarab God's annoying, and Scarab God is online now, so let's do a little bit of... Pardon me, sir. I need some removal. Just kind of topping out on lands. Draw a card off of that. Ooh, more lands. Draw me something better. Okay, well, let's just get rid of this. Yes, we're going to give him a card, whatever. But they're out of the way. Then we will eat that barge if we can sacrifice another creature. Okay, so we're going to bring the barge to life. Crew 3 right here. We'll attack with everything. Well, I can't attack with that yet. Okay, fine. But now it's a creature, so I can put it in the graveyard. Greasefang can bring it back to life. Ooh, that's a good one there too. Because yes, that's a great card. Because with this demon, I can go tutor from my two best vehicles, my two best cards, my two best vehicles, Parhelion and that 1/7/7 mech. The opponent's gonna pick whatever. Obviously, they always pick Parhelion into the garbage. Greasefang brings it back, so they never pick correctly. And even if they put Parhelion in my hand, they're going to put the 7/7 into the graveyard, and then Greasefang will bring it back. So the opponent left their play, okay, now they're just going crazy to, okay, you're going to murder it? No, I'm going to actually put it to good use. Well, I didn't even need to. I know what's coming next. I got my cool demon coming next. 2 mana left. Yes, I know what's coming. We already have the courier in the... This is game over. This could be game over for them, although they have 1 blue mana open. It is pausing for them, and that is pausing for the crack your card. Okay, we'll probably be okay. Bring Greasefang back. No counterspell. Come on, no counterspell. No counterspell. Say it with me, everyone. Oh, counterspell. Okay, fine. No problem. We're going to give him one of the do not care. They're still dead. And I'll probably just attack directly next turn. Now, is this a board wipe here? This is Bantu's Last Reckoning. River's Rebuke. Okay, that's fine. That's actually really fine because what's in my... And then let's just give them a good game. They're dead. Because Greasefang will just come directly to the battlefield. There's a vehicle in the graveyard, so GG opponent. You tried very hard. You gave it the old Scarab God try. There we go. So we got 1 win so far. I'll probably play 10 games or so to get a good percentage or so. I should have been doing my stats tracker. I should have started a new... I'm using Untapped GG as my stats tracker, and I should have started a new copy of this deck to start with 0, and then it would give me way better stats than I can tell you what I'm going to tell here. But slivers. So this sliver deck is always extremely annoying, especially if they go first. Nope. Okay, so there's no good way to put things in the graveyard here at all. A lot of amazing vehicles, plus no black mana, so this is horrible. And here, Network Terminal will help me discard the Chariot, and then the Doom Whisper. Here's another way to get stuff in your graveyard. You can surveil it into the graveyard, but let's see... Let's see how we get with this. So the idea is eventually Terminal, tap my Mind Stone, drop my vehicle, maybe another better vehicle will come into the battlefield. In the meantime, I'm just going to ramp a little bit. Alright, 3 mana for the Terminal, and then right away, drop it with Mind Stone. Oh, the opponent's got the little Beholder. This one's always cool. 1 mana, tap another artifact, draw, then discard. They've got their own sort of thing. Okay, so here's our plan. Make sure you tap these properly. Sometimes the tapper isn't quite right. Bring that onto the battlefield. You can probably do this at any point. I'm going to get greedy and I'm going to do it at a later time. I'm going to keep my mana up. I'm going to keep my mana up here to make them think something will happen. Something will happen. I'm going to write on curve. Okay, got 2 mana rocks. All right, so do this. Actually, that's not going to work. Oh, it does work for itself? Cancel. Cannot complete due to unpayable cost. Okay, never mind. This isn't working as well as I thought. Okay, this one also does good stuff. Actually, this one's even way better. If this lives, if my lore mage, if Auric lore mage can live, that's actually the best of all, because I can go get Parhelion right away. They have enough mana for their commander, so I'm gonna have to mastery it. Yeah, it would be better to master it right away, and then get a sliver, of course. Let's get rid of that right away. Yes, they need to draw a card. And what I could do is I could go get the Sky Sovereign. That way it will kill their sliver. Nah, just gonna get Parhelion. What am I talking about? Parhelion is always the correct answer. Directly to the graveyard. Amazing. Greasy makes her debut. Next. Then we get that right out of the graveyard. Greasy can crew it, no problem. Attack. Suddenly, so many angels and everything. Beautiful. Yep. Back to the hand, and then I can play, and then I can do the terminal trick of dumping Parhelion. Just so that I have another attacker. D-Spark. I could keep the D-Spark. They're not going to be able to recast the First Sliver this fast, I think. Let me do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. Lead belly, deal damage to whatever. Okay, that doesn't really matter, although I could de-spark it. What do I want to do here? The opponent's just Omae wa mo shinderu, right? They have a bunch of mana to do stuff, but that's 8 in the air. Slivers have first strike. What are these stupid sliver tricks? I hate these freaking slivers. I'm just going to get rid of this right away. So annoying. Slivers trigger me so fast you wouldn't believe it. But anyway, let's oops, do it the other way right here. Pay some mana, tap this right here, tap this right here, draw something, discard this something, who would have thought? Land, bring it back, crew, greasy, just attack with everything, who cares? If Auric Lore Mage gets it, who cares? That's lethal right there, right? Completely lethal. Yep, double blocking, who cares? Alright, we got second win versus Slivers. I think everything turned out very well on that game. And as I've said, this deck, I've iterated through it so many times. I had my first version that had 1 win out of 11, then a second version where finally I got around 45%. Then with the community help, I stream, if you look right over here, streaming every Saturday at 8 p.m. Come by and hang out. We'll build decks and stuff. Pacific time. So anyway, with the help of the community, then we made a new version of it. That started to get the win rate a little bit better and better. Then I've been tweaking it ever since. And I think this is a very good version of the deck. There's always going to be, now we gotta temper expectations. Not every deck can beat every deck. We know we like to think that we can, but there are some decks that our deck is just not equipped for. A deck that might be too aggro, too much 5-color pile good stuff. You never quite know. Here, I'm guessing with a Lorehold colors, with Boros colors. This one might be tricky because we might get aggroed out. So I'm going to keep this removal because I definitely need to remove Aurelia, and they're playing first. They're going to get Aurelia out first. So I need to... Oh, there's... Okay, there we go. Perfect. Why do I get all the cards that I always need? Because I build the right deck. Anyway, we have the Restoration of Eiganjo again, so that it can help us drop that land into the graveyard. I mean that vehicle. I would love a better vehicle than this one, but beggars can't be choosy. Choosy moms choose Eiganjo's Restoration. Alright, opponent is thinking, they're in Lorehold colors, they have a red spell. Nope, they have Path of Metal. That does something. Give all your creatures good stuff. Okay, fine. It's barely my turn. Wow, it feels like I'm already on turn 3. Barely on turn 2. When this enters, deals 1 damage, whatever. When you attack with at least 2 creatures, cool stuff happens. I never see people play this. And then it flips over to Metzali, Tower of Triumph, and then they play nothing. Okay, so in our case, we'll play this Restoration. You know what, that was a slight misplay there. I should have played the Arcane Signet, and then I still would have had enough for the Restoration. Yeah, that was a little misplay. Careful about that, everyone. Learn from my mistakes. Alright, here we go. Aurelia comes out. Perfect. Yeah, let's discard our vehicle. For a red player, they're playing so slow. Anyway, if we pay these 2... Yeah, let's do it efficiently this time. We pay 2. We have the Signet. We do that Exile. Next turn, Greasefang gets us a vehicle. It's not the best vehicle, but we're on track. We can place it right on the battlefield. Ugh, Outlaw's Merriment. I freaking hate that card so much, you won't believe it. Are there any things that when you play, they just... I mean, are there any things that get played that just trigger you so bad you can't even believe it? Anyway, let's... get some lands or something. Okay, got a free land. Perfect. Now I could bring out the... Yeah, let's bring out the Strider just for more blockers. And then I'll also just eat that vehicle to put it back in the yard to scry. Yeah, don't look at my vehicles. They're looking at everything on my battlefield. Okay, Outlaw gets a 3-1 with haste. Freaking annoying. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if they drop their 6th land, they'll get Aurelia back. That'll be annoying. Nope, Lyra. That's annoying as well. Okay. That's got a first strike. I definitely need removal for that. No attacks. Okay. Opponent is very annoying. Come on, removal. I need my removal. That's not removal. That's removal. Alright, so we will leave... mana up for... Nice. We will leave mana up for bringing that idol to life. They're like, nah, we'll take the damage, we'll recover. Put that back in the graveyard, scry into something. Don't need that. Make another outlaw. This one's got lifelink. 6 mana. Nope, they're looking at my idol. Probably what I'll do is bring the idol to life and then eat it. So it'll come to life, and then I'll eat it. Now, the spell will fizzle, and they won't get what they need out of it, right? With no valid target, then they don't gain that 3 life. SRAM is cool, but would rather do that. Yep, no. And then a Taranika. That's a pretty good one. Will you attack? Yeah, they're going to attack with lifelink, I'm sure. Ah, forgot about that. Well, actually, nothing meaningful happens, right? Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have first strike, double strike, vigilance, blah, 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 transform this. Nothing has anything that meaningful. Okay, well, let's eat those, let's eat all of those. Make a spirit. And then let's keep seeing the future. Sorry, little spirit. Do not want. Do not want. Okay, well, let's bring another thing back. Tap out. Yeah, this time I'll just go all in. If they block the Woe Strider, who cares? Attack with everything. Yeah, put that land. Why did it ask me that time and not the other time? Little odd. Okay, they're going to take all the damage. Fine. Are they losing their will to live? And got 1 blocker. Let's eat that. Carve again. So on the one hand, sometimes the deck is a little linear. I'm going to keep a couple lands in my hand to make them think I've got stuff. Got another lifelink. Junker. Okay. Finally got there. Okay, so this is going to hurt. They're going to give a whole bunch of great things to that. Gain 4 life off of that. Plus trample. Give that. +4, +4. Wow. Okay. Indestructible. And that's annoying. Okay. Well, that's not indestructible to my knowledge. Take 6 freaking damage off of the 1 little freaking token creature. And let's see the future. Come on, removal. There's plenty of removal. Okay, actually, can I get that into the graveyard easily? Yeah, I can just hard cast it and then... Well, I don't even have to do anything special. Yeah, just... I'm feeling quite greedy. Yeah, let's just grab that directly. I have 7 mana for it, so... Crew 2. Let's crew it with... Strider. Bring back another vehicle, doesn't even matter. That crews for 3. Attack with all of that. Just everything to really send the message. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put that back in the graveyard. And then let's crew that. No, that's fine. They're gonna Outlaw's Merriment. Such an annoying card. Such an annoying card. And then 1 damage to any target. They're gonna hit my spirit, but then I'll just eat it. Scry into what? That one's cool. I can summon it, and yeah, I've already got a bunch. I've got good stuff in the graveyard. That Lamia is cool because it can let me go tutor for Parhelion. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have gotten Parhelion out there. But I'm still gonna get that 7/7. Nothing has lifelink. What does this do? At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control until it gets +2, gains trample if it's red, gains vigilance. Okay, just trample and vigilance, who cares? So on its own, no lifelink. 4/5. Who cares in the air? Wave them like you just don't care in the air. They probably have a combat trick. Oh, they're mentoring. Okay, fine. But anyway, they probably still have a combat trick. Are there any lands I need to watch out for? Choose a creature at random that attack this turn. Destroy that creature. Choose a creature at random that attack. Nope. Deals 2 damage to each opponent. We'll be okay. There's no combat tricks, right? That'll just make me more spirits. Creatures you gain indestructible at the beginning of that turn and you lose the game. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn and then... Okay. Fine. They're going to lose the game because they're not going to be able to do 21 damage. Right? So they take an extra turn and then they get another little creature, but then as long as I don't get 17 damage, which I probably can get 17 damage with a well-placed Embercleave, that would be 6, 7, I guess it's 7 damage. They have plenty of plus spells. So let's assume Embercleave, Aurelia. How much is that going to be? Oh, okay, plus X for each creature. Okay, that's still not 17 damage, I think. They do have 2 mana open. No, yeah, they have 2 mana open. It is going to be Embercleave. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be 8. Embercleave plus 1, 9. This is game over. Embercleave. If that gets doubled, 8 times 2 is 16. We're alive for 1. Embercleave. And that's it. Okay. All right. Well, when you gamble it all on your Boros powers, you better have the odds stacked in your in your favor, or else that's what happens there. So that's our 3rd win. 3 wins in a row. That's 1,000% win rate by my calculations. Let's keep it going. As I said, I played this enough that I see the patterns of people playing the same thing over and over. Every other deck would have had the Embercleave in hand. And she was at 8 plus 1. That would have been 9. 9 times 2, 18. Dead. But we were so lucky. Drastic Sage playing Rin Seri, so cats and dogs living together, pure anarchy. Okay, so nothing good here. They go first. Mind Rake is good to drop a good vehicle turn 2. Got some removal. They go first. Dockside Chief is also good for putting stuff in the graveyard. None of this is amazing. It's just removal. I could play the removal game, or a couple of ways to play the deck is to try to, okay, Zombie Infestation. There we go. So all I need, 1 mana. All we need is well, we can play the deck in a couple of ways to make sure what we've got in hand. There we go. What we've got in hand needs to be what we need it to be versus what it might be. So they're obviously going to gain life next turn. I should probably kill that right now. Oops, that's artifact enchantment or whatever. So let's play the Zombie Infestation. I'll make a zombie out of nowhere. Hopefully they don't gain life before they attack with that Pride Mate. Of course they'll gain life. Whenever you play a Pride Mate, of course you're going to gain life next turn. I guess not. Okay, ramping with the Greater Tanuki. I am going to, if they are dumb enough to attack... Yep, they're not attacking. Okay, you know what to do. Not to attack. And I have all 3 of my mana. 2 vehicles in the yard. Greasefang comes out. She brings back the Untethered Express. Equip that. Or accrue that. That's actually a 5/5, it's never going to get bigger than a 5/5. That'll go back to the hand. I'll be able to discard it again with the Infestation. I could get Doomscar ready. Okay, Rin Seri's next turn, or this turn, that is. Whoops. Whoops-a-doodle. Zombies from nowhere. Alright, I'll play that Miasmic Mummy eventually. And let's bring back this Express. It is quite untethered. Another 5 damage. So what do we want to do here? Well, let's pack this away because I'm sure they're going to add up with good stuff. Drop. I could make 2 zombies again. Okay, escape is worthless. They play 1 mana. They have nothing else to do. They just have a 4/4. Let's see if they attack with a 4/4 with flash zombies. Ah, fine. That makes that annoying. I'm probably going to board wipe. After I go in for the attack, I'm gonna board wipe. Bring that to life. They will block with one. They'll probably block Rin Seri to one of the zombies, maybe one of the dogs. Alright, there we go. That trades. They want to keep that dog for Rin and Seri to do its thing, but they won't have a chance. And then Greasefang takes one for the team. I could have played the Rack and Bank Buster actually and started to do its thing. Oops, they're gonna do the Brig Bait and play. Land drop. Would be better if it was a Ooh, Johnny's pretty good.
You realize I do not stand alone. Now do you see the benefits of peace?
Alright, Greasefang comes back. Bring that back. I'm gonna have to waste my time with taking out a Johnny. Fine.
Pain is
This'll
strong,
be annoying.
but my resolve is stronger.
Three, 4 vigilance. They have a lot of cards in hand. They have a lot of mana. They're going to be able to play a cat or whatever. Make some more blockers. Landfall. That's a 4/5. That's a dog. Makes another blocker. Gain some life. Freaking annoying.
Now do you see the benefits?
Where's my removal?
Of peace?
There we go. Let's get rid of that. That's getting out of hand. So here's the great thing. Even if they double block this tethered thing, I hate having their stupid planeswalker in the way. Such a distraction. But even if they double block and that goes to the graveyard, that's even better for me because I'll just bring it back easily. So this was a waste. A planeswalker's this distraction.
We must regroup.
So finally that's out of the way. I can get back to the opponent. That distraction. Garuk's Uprising draws them 1 card. They have a lot of mana in play, continue to have a lot of mana. I'm worried about something really big coming. There's a Hound. So on this kind of deck... So this deck... This opponent... This will probably be the first loss. This opponent is too good, just gumming up the board. Very hard to get through it all. I'm going to need a board wipe here. I already did 1 board wipe. I did 1 board wipe and they're already coming back from it. See how resilient their deck is? And there's one of those, so... Just gonna go for the face. Wasted all that time trying to get through 1 Planeswalker. It just goes back to the graveyard. I can remove a few things. Just bring out another blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... At least they've only got 2 cards in hand. They have enough mana for Rin Seri Blast. They have enough cards to bring back that Rager. Ajani's ticking up. It's gonna make cats. In 2 turns, they draw a card off of that. Scry. Kept it on top. They like it. Bolt Hound.
Deliver us to victory.
Alright, well, let's see if we can scry into something good. I guess. They're getting too much advantage out of Ajani, so let's get rid of that.
Until our paths cross again.
So I'll be able to sort of iterate. So you have to be careful there about crewing the vehicle. That was a freaking waste of a turn, so be careful there. I'm obviously getting triggered by this opponent. I'm dropping the ball here. It was a wasted turn, so... And then what triggers me is slow players as well. Rin Seri has enough to deal lethal to Greasefang, which is fine. I can recast it. First strike in Vigilance. After the main phase, there's an additional... Okay, well, good going, opponent. They gummed up the works enough that they then just had inevitability. Tell me in the comments how that could have been done any other way. And don't write that play until the final blow. That's a waste of my time, that's a waste of your time. Mostly my time, which matters more. So tell me in the comments how based on that board state it could have worked out. Because obviously we're gonna do the full strike, everything had first strike, then a second combat phase, so I would have been wiped out. And then I would have been limping along on the next step. So that was a very resilient deck. All right, so here, Liliana can be used to weaken their hand and put stuff into my graveyard. Only 2 mana, so that's bad, but authority, okay, makes my creatures come in tapped. Like that one. Turn 2, there's no turn 2 plays. These planes, okay, mono white, that was Doomscar, right? Actually, it's Selesnya. So, foretelling, there's very few cards that you would really foretell. Doomscar would be one of them with white, and in green, Struggle for Skemfar or something. That one fight spell. It is my turn, and they are pausing for priority. Do they know what they're doing? Okay, they're going to destroy my... this is all happening on my upkeep, so they're going to destroy my Signet, and then I don't have the mana for it in my main phase. So cruel. So, so that wastes my turn. Got my mana. There's that Overlord. I guess what I want to do here is play the Overlord. If I get my 4th mana, I need to exile Shalai. But if they don't play Shalai, okay, they don't play, okay, fine. This is what we want. This is exactly what we want. Auric Lore Mage, Roiling Regrowth, sure. They'll have enough mana for Shalai next turn. But what I'll do here is I can go get my... I can go get... Parhelion deals a lot of... That's definitely... They have enough mana there for the Doomscar, I guess. Should have been a little bit more careful. They're going to Doomscar, that's going to lose them a turn. Oh, Procession, okay. Not good. I don't have any enchantment removal in this deck, possibly. That's a way to improve the deck. But let's just set ourselves up here, and I'm missing a land drop. But let's just set ourselves up here. You know what? Actually, we're in big trouble because everything enters tapped, so it's not even going to be able to attack. So this is just freaking game over, isn't it? Yeah, we're in big trouble. But wait a minute, that's not a... Yeah, we're in big trouble here. They're gonna Doomscar here. I'm missing land drops. Starnheim, okay. Alright, well, that's Starnheim. Oh, great, a perpetual card. Did I ever tell you how much I love perpetual cards?
I'm looking for new minions. Care to volunteer? You think too much.
Alright, not good. That makes angels. Now we have a bunch of things to do here. We'll just minus Shalai. Not spend our mana on that, missing a land.
Let death embrace you.
At least we can do this. Well, not really, because it comes in tapped. Ugh. So they have 8 mana. I have Eat to Extinction. So this is what I'm saying about the, not every deck has every answer all the time. I do have enchantment removal somewhere in the deck, but having 12 creatures on the battlefield and waiting for another board wipe. MTG single player. Are they a player that is single, or do they just like to play single games? Okay, mulligan into nothing good. I get to go first, but final parting until turn 5 will let me go get Parhelion, but they're going to play Land War Elf turn 1. Nope, okay. So just building up here very slowly. Turn 3, Network Terminal, mana ramp. There we go. And then I have enough for Phylath. I can despark it. Parhelion in the air, like you just don't care. Actually, I'm going to go grab both of these. The other will go, so put this one to the hand. Sure. The other one goes to the graveyard. Next turn, Greasefang. They have enough for their own Phylath. I could despark it and spend one more turn. That'll be... interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I bet you they have an artifact removal. They're gonna naturalize it before anything happens. Exactly. But that's a... who cares? And we'll play this Foundry Inspector. Yeah, it's still just going to end up in the graveyard where I can keep bringing it back. It's going to hold me back. But this is just... this might be the inevitability. So... okay, well that's annoying, but I'll still be able to bring that Colossus out. 6 mana. Skyclave, equip it. Don't tell me this to have their land drop. Wow, amazing. And then a bite. Oh, okay, fine. You have a lot of value cards. And then a fight. Oh, that's a good thing I made 1,000,000 mana. Alright, let's despark Phylath. Oh, here comes a Harrow. Nope, Urban Utopia, good enough. They're tapped out. Ugh, okay, there's that. I could crack everything. Well, let's do it. We can do the attack and then Blood on the Snow and then bring Greasefang directly to the battlefield. Wow. Greasefang back to the battlefield. Remember, kids, put your snow mana in the deck for just such an occasion. Alright, they are rebuilding the board, kind of. It's definitely neck and neck. And then we'll just move forward here. Do it in style with Parhelion so they can't even block anything. And that does 18 damage. Not 18, some amount of damage. Now, can I actually do this? Will this work? I play that and then Network Terminal to tap that artifact. Draw and discard that. Nope, it didn't happen how I thought. That happens at the end of the turn. Okay, well, fun. Too overzealous. And then it goes like that. So, okay, well, we saw here, let's wrap up this stream. We saw the different gameplay patterns with this deck, putting stuff into the graveyard in a variety of ways. We'll wrap up the video by looking at the deck in detail. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. And this deck is in the description. Check it out there. But let's look at the theory of the deck from here. So obviously, Greasefang Okiba boss, 3 mana, 4/3. We're seeing at the beginning of combat, bring a vehicle back to from the graveyard to the battlefield, give it haste. Okay, but then it bounces back to your hand. So then we've got Hotshot Mechanic. This one was never played. It's a 2/1. It can crew up to 4. Bone Shards, additional cost, sacrifice a creature or discard a card. Turn 1 Bone Shards plus a huge vehicle. Amazing, because then you put that vehicle right into the graveyard turn 1. Well, actually, it needs a target. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. So if you're going to destroy their thing, you discard your own thing into the graveyard. Dockside Chef. If you sacrifice creatures, it draws you a card. Sacrifice an artifact. Okiba Reckoner, it's the saga. 2 chapters, the opponent loses life, you gain some life, flips over, then all your vehicles have menace. Kitsune Ace, Star Fox 2/2. When it crews, gives the vehicle first strike or untap itself. Oswald, this one's interesting. Sacrifice an artifact to then trade up to the next level of artifact. So if once you've got one of the vehicles on the field, sacrifice it to put it in the graveyard to get another vehicle. Seasoned Hallowblade, this one's amazing to fill your graveyard. Discard a card, make it indestructible. So block a huge creature, drop your vehicle into the graveyard, and Greasefang brings the vehicle back to your hand over and over, and Hallowblade dumps it back into the graveyard. Opponents rage quit once they see this pattern, because this is just the perfect 2-card perfection. SRAM, draw a card with vehicles, equipments, or auras. Heirloom Mirror, this one's pretty cool too. 2 mana, play as soon as possible, then 1, tap, pay life, discard a card, do some stuff, who cares. You're discarding the cards to put the vehicles into the graveyard. Miasmic Mummy, all players discard a card. Obviously, you're going to discard your amazing vehicle. Reckoner's Bargain, 2 mana instant, sacrifice an artifact or creature, and then you gain life, and then you draw 2 cards. So you used up that vehicle, get some life and cards out of it. Zombie Infestation, we saw this one, discard 2 cards. You must have 2 cards to discard or it doesn't work. So discard 2 cards, make a zombie, put the vehicle into the yard. Despark, kill a huge thing. Fracture, destroy an artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. I needed that one on that one other game that was really annoying. Rite of Oblivion, 2 mana sorcery. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. So your vehicle doesn't even have to be a creature. And then exile their non-land permanent, flashback it later. So play it again. Vanishing Verse, exile a monocolored permanent. Arcane Signet, some ramp. Cold Steel Heart, some ramp. Guardian Idol, some ramp. So definitely, and then Mind Stone, and also the Ornithopter. So all of the good 2 mana rocks are in the deck, of course. Ornithopter's the 2 mana, but it's a creature, so it loses 1 turn, but colorless mana, but later on you can sack it for a card, and then this one comes in tapped. We don't have Soul Ring on Arena, but obviously on your full EDH version, put in Soul Rings and Mana Crypts and all that you love. Oh yeah, the Guardian Idol also comes to life for shenanigans. Heart of Kiran, amazing 2 mana, 4/4, Flying Vigilance, crew 3. So again, here's some of the vehicles now. The 2 mana hover bike. This one, it's useful to simply pay the 2 and tap down something of theirs. You can tap down their mana dork at the beginning of their untap step, or after they untap, and tap their mana dork. The mana gets used up by the time they go to the next phase. They lose the mana, so that's tricky. Mech Titan Core, I've never gotten this to work, but you could get a 10/10 Flying Vigilance Trample Lifelink Haste creature if you have a bunch of other vehicles to transform it into. It's there for Magical Christmas Land. One day it will happen. And the Reckoner Bankbusters was amazing. It's a 4/4, comes with counters. Use up the counters. It does stuff. Read it for yourself. It's a cool long-term card. Born to Drive. It's an aura, but usually you're going to channel it to make a pilot, which lets you crew vehicles up to 3. There's Restoration of Eiganjo, used it a few times. On the second chapter, you discard something, discard your vehicle. Later on, you can make a Vigilant Fox Monk that makes spirits. Mindrake, this is interesting. Regular cost of 3, overload for 2. So if you pay it for 2, each player discards 2 cards. Obviously, drop your 2 best vehicles. That's the main thing you want. You don't want to play it for its regular cost. Well, you can pay it for its regular cost, although it's 3 mana to discard yourself 2. So just pay it for the 2 cost. Woe Strider, we saw this one working a lot. Creatures, eat them up for scry power. Vehicles, before they go back to your hand because of Greasefang, eat them up for scry power. Mortify, destroy creatures and enchantments. Foundry Inspector, it decreases the cost of your vehicles. Network Terminal, we saw that working. Draw, then discard. Raider's Carve, we saw that working. Grabbing you lands. Wrath of God, in case you need to reset the board. Bale Mastery, 4 mana to exile a creature or planeswalker, or 2 mana in a pinch, although you give them a card. Eat to Extinctions, no questions asked. 4 mana, exile their creature or graveyard, and then Surveil, 1. Feed the Swarm, another exile creature or planeswalker for 4. Liliana, make them discard, you discard, put your best vehicle in the graveyard, and -3 will do -X damage based on, it's technically not damage, -X on their creature based on the size of your graveyard. Ulrich Loremage, go tutor for the best vehicles, put him directly to the graveyard, and then get him back with Greasy. We've got Rankle the Prankle, 3 mana, or a 4 mana, 3/3 Flying Haste. Obviously choose Mode 1, each player discards a card, discard your best vehicle. You might even have them sacrifice a creature, etc. Vraska's Contempt, 4 mana, exile creature or planeswalker, gain some life. Bomat Bazaar Barge, it's a 5/5, draw a card when it enters. Overcharged Dragster, this one's fun, 6/1, trample and haste. Crew for 1, so you don't even have to Greasefang trick it. You can have old Oswald crew it if you want. Search Hacker Mech, it's a 5/5 with Menace. When it enters, it deals double the damage of number of vehicles. It's going to deal at least 2. It could deal way more than that if you play your vehicles right. Thundering Chariot, 3/3, first strike, trample, haste. Untethered Express, we saw this one working. It becomes a 5/5 when it attacks. If you keep working it with Greasefang, it's only ever going to be a 5/5. I've played it as well, just as a vehicle that sticks around and gotten it huge, and it's got trample, so that's nice. The Weatherlight, it's a 4/5. It feels like it never really hits as well as it could, but what this does is, whenever it deals combat damage, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card. A reminder, historics are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. And put that one into the hand, put the rest at the bottom. So I've played it a few times. It hasn't fully always worked, but it's 4 damage in the air, so that works. Doomscar, another board wipe in case we need it. Gravebreaker Lamia, I didn't play it, but I could have, but it's a 4/4, it's a lifelink. It lets you go tutor for any card to put directly to the graveyard. Obviously get the best card. Doom Whisperer, for as much life as you want to spend, you can surveil and put things directly to your graveyard, put the best vehicles there. Final Parting, go tutor for 2 cards, keep 1 to the graveyard. Shadow's Verdict, board wipe for little things, for tokens. Ballista Charger, it's a 6/6. When this attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target. So it can take down a 7/7, hit it for 1, and then hit it with the 6, or hit their mana dork or whatever, or directly to the face. Intro to Annihilation, in case you need to remove anything except the land, they draw a card. Sky Sovereign Console, didn't play this one this time, but it's a 6/5 flying. When it enters and when it attacks, it deals 3 damage. With Greasefang, you can have it deal 6 damage to a creature, 3 when it enters and 3 when it attacks. Blood on the Snow, another board wipe. We saw it bring Greasefang directly back to the battlefield. If you pay it with snow mana, this deck has snow mana, so then you bring back Greasefang, avoid the commander tax. Burning Rune Demon. I got it in my hand, but I never played it. Did I? I don't remember. I think I played it. Go tutor for 2 things. The opponent picks 1. One of them moves to the graveyard, 1 to your hand. Whichever you pick, they're amazing. And whichever you're going to pick are these final 2 vehicles. Thundersteel Colossus, we saw it's a 7 simple trample haste. Or the big idea of this deck, Parhelion II. Normally cast it for 8 mana. Play it on turn 3 if you are able to play your cards right. Flying, First Strike, Vigilance. And when this attacks, create 2 4/4 angels that are also flying, vigilant, and attacking. That's a lot of damage. And then the lands. The lands you could put a bunch of more utility lands if you want. I usually go simple with just lands. But Command Tower for the mana fixing, Mech Hanger for the mana fixing of vehicles. You can put in Fabled Passage. You can put in the other mana rocks. But that's the deck there. We did some gameplay. We tried out the deck versus a variety of players. I'm going to pull up actually my stats over here. Just a moment. I'm going to pull up my stats. What we played right now isn't fully indicative of the full power of the deck. Let me show you actually my stats. Switching over to the browser. Here we go. So here's my stats for this deck. This is the Greasefang deck right here. Let me just go back to confirm to show there's no sleight of hand. This is real. Here we go. Before I even click on it, there's the deck there, Greasy 3. And so I have 59% win rate, 23-16, so it's not a rinky-dink 5 or 6 matches I played today. I've played this deck for 3 hours. 23-16. 78% win rate on the play. A little bit harder to win on the draw, apparently. I gotta figure out why. So on our matchups, we can look at the matchups right here. Let's see, the best win rate has been against Silverquill, not too many matches. These 3 colors, whatever those are, 100% as well. Prismari gets 100%. 5-color Trash Pile, 100% there too. Let's put it up against matches, actually. So it's 50-50 against Selesnya. So that's a little tricky because they naturalize and disenchant your stuff. They must do stuff. 67% win rate versus mono white. Hard to deal with Lorehold. Can deal with Mardu, I believe. 67% versus Wet Golgari, whatever that one is. And just out of curiosity, what's our worst win rate? So we've never won against Colorless. Never won against mono blue. No one ever does, freaking mono blue players. Never won versus Azorius. Never won versus Grixis, versus Naya, or 4-color piles. But again, don't let that fool you. This is how the deck's been going, 59%. And in today, well, we got 4 wins, 2 losses, and 67% win rate there. Just going back on a history of things, it's just a lot. So we see here 50% versus 3-3, 63-2, 25 1-3, 1-2, 63 5-3, 2-1, 4-1. That was an amazing win streak 20 hours ago when I recorded this. So I should have recorded that one. Had the perfect winning streak, beautiful, even versus Muldrotha. Slivers, and then on today, well, 12 minutes versus Rin, and 12 minutes versus Lorehold, 7 versus Demir, 4 versus Sliver Pile, 10-minute loss after Rin Seri just got inevitability, 5 minutes after Shalai went off, and then wrapped it up there. So those are my stats. 59% win rate over a bunch of games. The deck works better on the play. But this is Greasefang Okiba Boss. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me how you would improve the deck in the comments. How would you build the full EDH version? Tell me about it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, I would highly appreciate if you checked out my Patreon. It's down there at the bottom, patreon.com/vmcampos. Maybe come hang out with me on my Discord. There's the link at the bottom. Come hang out with me and the other members of the VMC crew as we talk about Magic and other things. Discord.gg/dptgvnu. Capitalization matters. Make sure you type it right. Come in and join us. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. I do streaming every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We build decks, we have fun, we crack packs. I have a pack of some random magic set over here that we might open up. And we just have a fun time building decks. And I hope you come and join me on the stream. I hope you also really consider going to the Patreon, even at $1. That is so much appreciated. If you pledge, this is hard work. Thinking of amazing decks and doing gameplay and all of that. And for $1, you really give back. Think of what you spend way more on. Think about spending that $1 that you find under the couch over at my Patreon. I would really appreciate it. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you next time.